Welcome to the Andy Ruther Show. Here's Andy Ruther.
Welcome, my friends. Welcome back. The Andy Ruther Show. That is me, Andrew Thomas Ruther. Episode 16. Here we are on this scorching hot, and I mean hot, Wednesday afternoon from Cincinnati, Ohio. We got a bad heat wave going on here right now. I think I saw it's the warmest it's been, I think, in the last 12 years at this time. So it is hot. Very, very hot. So I don't want to be going outside dealing with that. The humidity just makes it terrible. So gonna be podding inside with you guys today. Much more enjoyable than dealing with the heat. But I am recording a video, which I'll get to later. I'll talk about it. So me and my boy Dougie Fresh gonna go record a video today, and I'll talk about that later in the show. Got a fun show today. I think we got a fun show. I don't know. I say that all the time. I don't know. I don't know what you guys want. I don't know what you want from me. I don't know what you want, but we're gonna talk about the things I want to talk about. And I just want to get out of this heat. That's all I'm trying to do here. Trying to get out of this heat, son. Is there anything worse than being hungover when it's hot and humid? I was thinking about that when the heat wave started hitting us this week in Cincinnati, and how glad I am that I don't drink alcohol anymore for that reason. You always want to think about the times or the things you miss when you give up alcohol. You know what I don't miss? Having cotton mouth, being parched, hungover on a hot, humid Midwest summer day. There's truly nothing worse. Truly nothing worse. Where you just wake up and your mouth is just so dry, disgustingly dry, and all you want is water and Gatorade. And then if there's heat, and then if you got to work in the sun, oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. I was thinking about a time when I used to work for a moving company in the summers in college, and it'd be so damn hot and you'd be sweating your balls off. And we would sometimes do, I don't even know what you call them, not road trips. It's work, but the company I worked for, which did commercial moving, you'd go to, let's say, for example, like they would build every new desk at a school, right? So that'd be the project for a week. And they'd send some of the college guys, and we'd go with the full timers. And we'd go up, for example, one week we go to Columbus, Ohio, or Greater Columbus or something. And you go up there, and literally for that entire week, you had a brand new school, and they were contracted out to just put together and assemble the desks for the new school. So put them together and then basically load them in all the classrooms. So it would be like a 3 or 4 day job. We're talking 10 to 12-hour days, and you're working in the heat. There's no AC, and you're just sweating your nuts off. And it was the worst, right? But what made it worse though was these guys, they were all married. Anytime we did like a remote job, they'd have to go to a strip club. Okay. So this was like a big deal for them, and they would find some terrible local strip club. And one night you'd go to that, and then we go back to our hotel rooms, and then you'd have to work 12 hours the next day in the heat, hungover, just feeling completely miserable, right? You feel like death is at your door. All you want to do is sleep. And the strip club would be great, and I'd always go with these guys, and it'd be fun. And then I'd get the knock on the door at like 6:30 in the morning from the project leader. and he'd say, "Ruther, you gotta get up, man. Hop in the shower. We gotta go to work. We gotta get in the truck and start working. Head to the school." And I'd be like, "Oh my god, why did I stay up till 3 a.m. drinking Red Bull and vodkas with these idiots at a strip club?" And I remember one trip, again, I think this one we were in the Columbus area. The trip just took us so much longer than anticipated. So you go with like 3 or 4 guys, and you would estimate how long the job would take, but a lot of times it would take longer. And we did one in Columbus, and we were supposed to be done by Friday, and we weren't. And by Saturday, we're still building these desks. We're still not only building these desks, you have to carry them. A lot of times, like, this was a brand new school. They didn't even have an elevator, or you couldn't fit them in the elevator. So you'd be carrying a desk that you just built up a flight of stairs. And at this point, I remember I was so spent from the full week there. I think we were hitting on like hour 80. Like, I'm working 80 hours that week, and I just snapped. I just stopped. I can't do this. And I just sat down. Said, "I can't do this. I'm not doing this anymore, man. I'm not doing this." And my go-to line, it's so immature and it's so sophomoric, and it's not even that funny, was I would always call the group leader Hitler and Nazi. And I'd say, "This isn't a concentration camp." That's stupid. And I just sat down, and I was just feeling like complete hell. And I sat in the middle of the school, and I'll never forget, I'm just sweating my nuts off. And I just said, "What is this, Auschwitz? I'm not working anymore. We're not finishing this project." I think we eventually finished that. And I remember sleeping the whole way home. We'd get back in one of those big trucks. I don't know what you call it. It's not a semi, but it's a big moving truck. You would get back in that, and we drove back to Cincinnati, and I'm sitting in the middle between the 3 guys, and I sleep the whole way home. And the funny part is I remember how that trip ended. I got back to Cincinnati probably Saturday evening, and then went out and just got wrecked with some buddies. So, all that hangover and all that stuff that I was hating and hating my life completely went right back at it. And that is why I had a binge drinking problem right there. But yeah, the heat sucks, bro. The heat really sucks. What else is new? What else we got going on here? Oh yeah. Isla discovered Mickey Mouse. This was a big deal. And why it's a big deal is that she discovered Mickey Mouse from a twerking Mickey Mouse at a Mexican restaurant my family went to. Not making this up. So, Isla has a Mickey Mouse stuffed animal, and Brittany had a Mickey Mouse stuffed animal that her dad gave her that she still has, that's like 30 plus years old. So, he gave a Mickey Mouse stuffed animal to Isla, her dad did, and she likes it. She cuddles with it, she plays with it, but I don't think she really fully understands Mickey. So, cut to Saturday night. The family's out doing family things like going to PetSmart. This is my life now, guys. In the past, I'm just being a maniac, right? Now I'm going to PetSmart on a Saturday night, but I love it. It's fun. She gets geeked. She loves animals. She loves seeing the cats, the dogs, everything that you would see at a PetSmart, the birds, the guinea pigs. Anyway, so we're out at PetSmart, and it's like 4:30. She usually eats around 5. We have early dinners because of her, and I said, "Let's grab some food. Let's go get a family meal." So, there's a Mexican restaurant right by the PetSmart that we go to in Cincinnati in an area called Oakley, and the Mexican restaurant is called Mi Cozumel, and Mi Cozumel is a restaurant I love, Brittany loves, other people in my family love, and it's a pretty big party vibe. So, for example, it's the type of Mexican restaurant that has no lie, like the 3-foot long drinks with sparklers that they light on fire, right? So it's a scene. It's one of those places where people are getting absolutely turned and wrecked. And it's a great mix of people there. That's why it's also a great scene. So it's very diverse ethnically. You got your basic white girls, your white business dudes, more of your urban crowd of black people, a lot of Mexican people go there. So you got all these people, which is pretty rare for Cincinnati because Cincinnati's not like LA. It's not that diverse. So everybody goes and they get turned, but it's also a family restaurant. So they have a band that comes and sings happy birthday to people and they go absolutely bananas, the whole 9 yards. So I figured, I said to Brittany, let's try Mi Cozumel. And this could be a terrible idea, right? This could be a terrible idea because Isla's 18 months old. It might be too loud. It might be too much for her. She might be on sensory overload. But I said, let's just test it out. Let's see. And Brittany's only been there once. And the last time we went, it was just pretty wild. But we also went at later at night. So she wasn't pregnant. She was drinking the whole 9 yards. So we show up at around 4:30 and I'm thinking it can't be too crazy. And it's not. There's lots of families there. There's lots of girls getting just bombed. It's a whole scene. And Isla's digging it. She's social. She's loving it. I'm walking her around the restaurant and again, the guys will come up and they'll play music and sing happy birthday. And then out of nowhere, I hear a corner of the restaurant going psycho. Everybody's going nuts and screaming. And I pick up Isla out of her seat to see what's going on. And we walk to the corner of that restaurant. And no lie, there is a dude dressed as Mickey Mouse, like the full Disney costume, just twerking on girls and giving them lap dances. And I could not stop laughing, right? So Mickey is going around the restaurant, twerking on dudes, twerking on chicks, giving lap dances, shaking his ass. I don't know if it's a dude or a chick under there, probably a dude. So I just kept calling it Mexican Mickey Mouse because we're at a Mexican restaurant and I could not stop laughing. And everybody's chanting Mickey. So Isla likes this. Here, let me just show you the clip. I mean, so you can get a visual. I have a couple clips from that night. This is a video of Mickey going by me and Isla as I picked her up. You can see just the gyrating Mexican Mickey Mouse. It's hilarious. So you can tell from the vibe, right? It's a party scene. It was like the minute it hit 5 o'clock, they unleashed twerking Mexican Mickey Mouse. And I couldn't get over it. And Isla loved Mickey, but when Mickey got close, like right here when I'm holding her, she would get terrified. So she loved twerking Mexican Mickey Mouse. But when Mickey got close, here's a video of me holding Isla at our table, and Mickey goes by us close. She gets a little scared, and she would clutch onto me, which was pretty funny. I mean, look at him. Just shaking his ass, right? So Isla became obsessed. Obsessed. She probably said the word Mickey 50 times Saturday night, at least. She's going, Mickey? 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 And then the whole way home, Mickey? Mickey? And then we get home and she doesn't stop. She just would not stop saying Mickey. And then we grab the stuffed animal and we're trying to show her, hey, this is Mickey as well. You have Mickey. And Brittany and I could not stop laughing that her introduction to Mickey Mouse was not Disney World, was not Disneyland, and to be honest, wasn't even really a cartoon because she had never watched Mickey. It was a twerking Mexican Mickey Mouse that was shaking his ass and giving lap dances at Meet Cozumel. And I said to the waitress at one point, I've never seen this. I come here every few months. I said, "Is this a new thing?" And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, she didn't say Mexican. She was Mexican. She goes, "Mickey Mouse comes out every Saturday night now." And then she goes, "And I don't know why." You just got this dude dressed as Mickey Mouse just going up, giving lap dances, twerking, doing dance moves. It's wild, man. So she's been obsessed. Isla's been obsessed since Saturday. And we introduced her to Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And that's all she wants to watch. All she wants to watch is Mickey Mouse. And all she wants to say is, "Mickey? Mickey?" It's so damn funny. It's just so damn funny. She needed that, though. She needed a little Mexican Mickey Mouse in her life because she got bit last week. And I was not happy. I was not happy. She got bit at daycare. She just moved rooms. They move rooms every 6 months. And she just turned 18 months. So she moved up to room 4. And we got a repeat offender. That's why I'm not happy. The same kid that bit her in room 3 just bit her in room 4 on day 3 in room 4. Here's my thing. Kids are going to be kids, and I know biting is a problem at this age, year and a half, 2 years old. And I get kids are going to be kids. I grew up with 4 brothers. I understand it. I'm not a helicopter parent. My issue, and I talked to the daycare director about this, my issue is what I call repeat offenders. Because there's no policy in place at the daycare. If you bite this many kids, you're kicked out. In my opinion, that should be the policy. If you bite X number of kids, you're kicked out. And it sucks, but those are the rules. Right? You have a group of kids, and again, I understand biting will happen. But if it is continuous and you're a repeat offender, you get hit with a harder penalty. Right? Just like the justice system. The first time you commit a felony, you shouldn't spend years in jail, depending on the felony. Now, if you keep getting felonies, you should spend a lot of time in jail. Or don't expect to get a job if you're a repeat offender with a rap sheet of felonies. That's all I'm trying to say, people. That's all I'm trying to say. And I know this kid has a rap sheet. And I know it sucks because I could very well be on the other end of this. I could have a daughter or a son in the future that's a biter. I totally get that. But again, my problem is that there's nothing in the daycare policy that says if you bite 10 kids over 2 months, you're thrown out. I think that's what they need. They need a policy that says if you bite so many kids. And she had a big old bite mark on her back. And she loves daycare, for the record. And I love it up there too. I love everybody up there. I love the staff. She loves it. And we've been very happy there. So I'm not trying to pull my kid out of the daycare. Not at all. And our future daughter is going to go there as well. I just think they need a policy where if a kid is bitten so many times, and I know the kid's only a year and a half to 2 years old, but the truth is, I think the parents have to have some accountability on this. And I know some people might disagree with me. How do you control an 18-month-old from biting? I don't know. You got discipline them though. If they keep doing it, if you're like this kid, if you're a repeat offender, I joked with the daycare. I said I gave her a shank. I said I sharpened one of my keys. She's going to show up with a shank hidden in her diaper tomorrow. She just loves it up there so much. I don't want her to have any fear when I send her there. That was the most mad I've ever gotten, to be honest, since she's been born, as far as being protective as a dad. Brittany was surprised how worked up I was. And she said, "You didn't get worked up this much the first time or the second time she got bit." I said, "Yeah, but this is the same kid who bit her last time. That's why I'm worked up. And I know this kid is going around biting everybody, not just Isla. So it's a problem." And I understand some kids are gonna misbehave and be troublesome. I understand all that. So then take them somewhere else. Because to me, it comes back to money. If we're paying this much money, and it's a lot, daycare is very expensive. I just don't want my kid bit. And that's fair. An occasional biting, yeah, it's gonna happen. The kid's gonna get bit occasionally. Kid's gonna get hit occasionally. I get it. It's gonna happen. We just can't have a continuous process of biting on her, on other kids. That's all I'm saying. That kid needs Mexican Mickey Mouse in his life. Maybe that would make him happy. A twerking Mexican Mickey Mouse will make anybody happy. I kind of want to be twerking Mexican Mickey Mouse. Can I do that? I want to be Mexican Mickey Mouse. I want to get a part-time job at Mi Cozumel. Can I do that? I don't know. I got a little gay Greg update for you guys. Yeah. It's funny. I hadn't seen him for a bit. And I thought, man, the people who listen to the Andy Ruther show love, and I mean love some gay Greg stories and some gay Greg updates. Sure enough, the world has a weird way of working itself out, right? I go to Kroger, the Kroger by us, the one that's the most lit Kroger ever, which I'm going to do a video about, by the way. I don't think people realize the level of this Kroger that's by me. From a full bar to a gambling kiosk to a sushi bar to everything from a bank to a candy store to a pharmacy. It's its own liquor store in there. I mean, it's literally got everything. It's the most insane Kroger I've ever seen. They do all the commercials for Kroger there, like the Joe Burrow one they did there. They just it's an insane Kroger, and it's my local Kroger. That's why I ran into Gay Greg yesterday. So I run into Gay Greg. So I'm in a public setting, and as usual, guys, Gay Greg did not disappoint. And I'm going to be telling you stuff that he said publicly with all these people around 4:30, 4 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. It's busy. People are buying groceries. They're getting stuff for dinner. And he's saying all this wild stuff just in the middle of one of the aisles. So I see him and I make a quick joke. He asked about Isla and I said, "Oh yeah, she's in the car actually." And then he laughs. It's a totally inappropriate joke. I'm like, "Yeah, she'll be fine in 100-degree heat with the windows rolled up." So I'm making a terrible joke, but I think it's funny, and I knew he'd laugh because he's got a sick sense of humor, and he laughs. And then I tell him, I let him in on the news. I said, "We're having a second. We got a little girl that's going to be coming in end of January, beginning of February." And then he does some gay Greg talking, and it was amazing. So first he says to me, he goes, "It's pretty wild that we only had 2 kids. Because my wife's very Catholic and we never used birth control. Never. And it's wild that we only had 2 kids. Just never had birth control." Again, we're in the middle of a Kroger, guys. Like, people were walking by with their kids. People were grabbing stuff, food, cereal. And he's like, "It's amazing that we only had 2 kids. She was never on birth control." And then he tells me they actually had some problems having kids. And that he had to go to a fertility clinic and give sperm samples. Again, not a conversation you're having at your local grocery store, but gay Greg is unlike anybody you will ever meet. And he's like, so I had to go to a clinic, to give a sperm sample. He's like, I don't know if you've ever done one of those. So you got to do your thing and you got to jerk off into a cup. And he goes, I go to the place and the girl hands me the cup and I go into my little room, but I realized it used to be just a giant room. It's partitioned off now with like makeshift walls and stuff. And he goes, so I'm doing my thing. And the guy in the other room, and it's not really a room, I can hear him really getting into it. And he's grunting and he's making noises. And I'm like, oh my God, that guy's really getting into this. Again, we're in the middle of a Kroger while he's telling me this. And he goes, the guy is just so loud. I couldn't believe how loud he was doing his thing in there. And then he goes, the guy finishes and he comes running out of his room and he almost knocks me over. And I'm at the front desk and he runs up to the front desk and he says to the girl, oh my God, I was so into it. I missed my cup. And I'm thinking, how do you miss your cup? You had one job. All you had to do was go into that cup. How do you miss it? And I'm thinking, again, you guys know what I say when I talk to him. Is this real life? Am I being punked? Is he sitting there in the middle of a cereal aisle at a grocery store telling me about a guy missing the cup at a fertility clinic and that his wad went everywhere? Is this real life? Am I being punked? And he's just got the big shit eating grin like he always has. And I eat it up and I laugh. So that just encourages him more. And then we go back to talking about me. And he's like, you should have another. I said, dude, one thing's at a time. Like, let's just have two. And he's like, you're getting old though. Like, you got to do it now. You don't want to be old. Back in my day, you just pumped out kids young. But like, you're getting old. How old are you? I said, I'm gonna be 43 in November. He's like, yeah, you got to get with that, man. You just got to just pump them out. Just pump them all out. I said, thanks, Greg. I got to go pick up some eggs for the family. Good talking to you. If I told somebody some of these stories, they would just say I was making it up. Again, I like to take creative freedom to exaggerate. I don't have to with him. That's how hilarious it is. People are walking by in their grocery carts, hearing him tell a story about a guy furiously jerking off at a fertility clinic. It's insane. And his grandkids go to school real close to us too, by the way. So like parents he probably knows up there are shopping. It's just, I love him so much. He's the best. That's all I can say. He is the absolute best. And it's so funny. And literally it made my day. I don't know what that says about me. It made my day running into him at the grocery store. Because you never know what he's going to say. You just never know. How did we go from me saying I'm having a second kid to him talking about a guy just jerking off all over the place, right? Like that's what I'm trying to think about here. Like, how did we go from the lovely thing of Isla's going to have a sister to him talking about a guy who was vehemently masturbating at a fertility clinic? How did we get there? That's always the best thing with him. You start here and you end up here. And I don't ever know, because it's almost like I black out what happens in between. But for that, I'm thankful. If you guys have any wild stories, give me a call. 859-935-0078. Once again, the hotline is 859-935-0078. So we've done Karens and Anderson a lot on this show. And to be honest, we haven't done it in about 2 months. And the truth is, I was gonna do another Karens and Anderson segment, but I decided to push it because some news came to my attention on Sunday, courtesy of my neighbor, very talented Dougie Fresh, as we call him. He's been filming me. He filmed the gender reveal. He's great. So he knows how I like talking about Taco Bell, which is kind of turned into a thing on this show, just randomly talking about Taco Bell. And he said, "Did you see the news article about the Taco Bell in Cincinnati?" And I said, "No." So I checked this out. This is what? This is a few days ago. Yeah, 4 days ago. The headline reads, "Want to try the second worst Taco Bell in America? It's right here in Cincinnati." So, the second worst Taco Bell in America, according to a ranking from Fast Company, is located right here in Cincinnati. So, here's how they do the reviews or the ratings for this. The American Business Magazine analyzed Google Map reviews of every Taco Bell in the United States to determine the 5 best and 5 worst. So they're just doing it off reviews. The ranking was based on a weighted scoring system devised by Fast Company that factors in the average customer review rating and the number of reviews customers have left as of July 30th. So the Taco Bell in my city, one of them, it's in the hood on 1810 East Seymour Avenue, received a weighted score of negative 5.51 points, which is 0.5 of a point ahead of the worst location in Deltona, Florida. So basically, the Taco Bell that it's like 25, 30 minutes away from me has gotten so many negative reviews that it's currently rated as the second worst Taco Bell in the entire United States. And here's the kicker. It's only been open for like 6 months, and it's already rated top 3 worst Taco Bell in the entire country. So I'm fascinated by this. So I tell Doug, I say, "Doug, we gotta go. You gotta film me, man." Especially after I started reading these reviews. I said, "These reviews, they're like something out of a Chappelle Show sketch." They remind me of the Mad Real World, one of my favorite sketches, season 1 Chappelle Show. It's all black people, and then the one white guy named Chad, and I think they're working like a smoothie bar or like a juice bar. And at one point, Chappelle's character, I think he's Tron. He's like, "America wants to see us live," and he's showing money, and that's what these reviews are like. And I'm gonna bring these reviews up. So instead of doing Karens and Anderson, I want to do these Taco Bell reviews because they're wild, man. They're absolutely wild. So these are the Taco Bell reviews. I'm gonna read some of them. Again, currently rated the second worst Taco Bell in the entire country. And it's only been open about 6 months. All right, here's one from Brittany. "Horrible, horrible, horrible. I've tried this location 3 times, and each time the food was nasty and old. The first time I was literally given 4 pieces of chicken on my Cantina chicken taco, which cost like $7, and had to go back to have them fix it, but it was still bad. The last time I was there, I ordered the chicken cheesy street chalupas. The bread was old and stale, and the chicken tasted expired. It made me sick off 2 bites. I threw the rest away and never went back. Terrible service." You give it 3 chances. Like that's what's funny to me. You'll see some of these reviews. If I go to a bad fast food restaurant, I'll never go there again. I'll just never go there again. I might give a normal restaurant a second chance maybe. I'm not giving a bad fast food restaurant a second chance. Like when Roscoe was in the hospital, the animal hospital last November, there was a Wendy's by it, and I went, and it was so bad. The line wasn't even busy. It took forever. They were awful at service. I just like I'm never going there again. I will never go to that Wendy's again. And some of these people who give it 2, 3, 4 chances, like, what are you doing? Okay, this next one from Stacy's good. Fights in the parking lot between employees. Again, Chappelle Show sketch. Waiting forever, closing early all the time. Phone is never on or answered. On top of being handed the completely wrong order, you can't reach anyone at the store. Their main number is only open during the week. Which by the way, like, what are you doing? You're calling the store? I wouldn't be calling a you just here's the thing with this stuff, guys. When it comes to this stuff and when it comes to bad fast food, you just take your L and you move on, right? It's not like you're breaking the bank. I know things are more expensive than they were because of inflation, but you just when you have a bad fast food, like when you have a bad experience, you just take the L and you just move on. That's what you need to do. But these people are hilarious. Okay, so let's get to some more reviews. This one's from Precious, and we're not talking about the chick from the movie. This was a great one. This one made the paper here in Cincinnati. We couldn't get our meal because the lady at the drive-through was, in quotes, was not in the mood. So that's what she told her. She was not in the mood. Haven't been open that long and already not starting off on a good foot. Hire better people who want to work because that's not a good look. This one is great. This next one from Michael because it's a visual and it shows 2 half full boxes of fries. So I ordered 2 large nacho fries, and this is what I received. They took 1 large fry and they sold it as 2 large fries. I mean, that's what they did. They literally took 1 large one and split the fry boxes so that it's 2 half full ones. Also waited 25 minutes and the food was cold. I love some of the reviews that are just so out there. Workers are lazy when it gets dark out. So it's like when it hits dark, they get lazier. They need to be fired. I just went 6 cars outside. First of all, it's tough to read some of these reviews because the Taco Bell's in the hood and the people writing the reviews are in the hood. So it's like we got a lot going on here. I just went in 6 cars outside that are workers' cars. They said, unfortunately, we're short staffed. So I think he's saying that 6 of the cars are all workers' cars and they're lying. 3 workers are smoking and not doing their job. Again, Chappelle Show sketch. Didn't get no receipt. Pissed because I had hair in my taco and my boyfriend's food was food as well. My second visit. So again, Brianna, what are we doing here? You go to Taco Bell and there's food in your hair, there's food in your boyfriend's hair, and you go back a second time? You know what's funny to me as someone who works for a restaurant and has to handle these things from time to time? I'm gonna give you guys a tip. If you ever have bad service, just reach out to corporate. That's the move. Don't call the local store. What you do is you reach out to corporate or you tweet at corporate and you tell them what they did and they'll fix it because they don't want bad press. What you don't do is you don't try to call that store because clearly 0 fucks are given who's ever running this store. I mean, this place, again, this place is either a front for something else or it's just them trolling people. It's unbelievable what's going on here. All right, here's one from Lel. This establishment is ghetto as hell. The person taking my order is extremely rude for no good reason. I ordered a few breakfast burritos at 9:40 a.m. and it seemed like I was a major inconvenience to this particular fast food worker's life. Okay, I love that. I absolutely love that. And I've talked about that, as you guys know. When you go to their restaurant and they act like you inconvenience them, like they're mad at you for showing up to order food at a place that literally is their job to sell food. I love these type of ones. I mean that's exactly what's going on here. Not only was he rude, so I guess they don't know the gender. Throughout the ordering process, they kept their terrible attitude in the payment process as well. I find it interesting that I had to wait in the mobile pickup for 3 burritos. The Taco Bell near my house is the exact opposite of what I experienced today. I don't have high Okay, this is where I'm right with my boy Lel. He's right. I don't have high expectations for the experience I get at a fast food restaurant. However, this was goddamn shameful. 0 out of 5 stars. And then you get people who like literally just get wild on the reviews. Like this guy said, workers have 0 brain cells as expected, of course. Wow, that's taking digs at just fast food workers. I feel embarrassed calling them workers when they barely work. Can't get simple orders right and talk about the worst communication ever. Can't talk about it because there isn't any. With that attitude, they'll be bouncing around from Taco Bell to Taco Bell for the rest of their lives and suck on middle class person's social security taxes. Whoa, what? My man made it. My man, who's my man here? My man made it political. There's just so many of these. Here's another person. What are you doing? You've been there 5 times? Every time I go there, which has been 5 times in the last month, because I work down the street, so it makes sense to go here for lunch. Anyway, every time there was, in quotes, system has been down. How? He writes with 3 question marks. When their employees are chilling in the parking lot doing nothing. This is why I hate fast food restaurants at night, because the employees don't want to work and make up reasons to serve customers. Someone needs to get that brand new store together because it's pointless to have it open that late. So everybody's just going on and on about just how bad it is. These ones are kind of funny. Robert says, incompetent would be an overgenerous compliment. I've been waiting for more than a half an hour for food. What are you doing there, bro? This is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. You've been waiting for over a half an hour for Taco Bell, and you're still just sitting there. At some point, you just got to abort. You got to eject. You got to leave the scene. You got to take your L. You got to just eat that 8:45 you just spent. Again, hop on Twitter, send something to their corporate headquarters. You got to just take the L. You can't sit in line for a chalupa and a Doritos Los Tacos for 30 minutes. Now, will I do that today? Yes, because we're filming it. Do I hope we get the worst service ever today and capture it all on camera? Yes. I hope somebody walks out and takes a shit on the hood of my car. That'd be great for camera. That'd be great. Make the video go viral. I hope they throw Taco Bell hot sauce at my face when I place the order. I hope it all goes down. But I'm also filming it. These people who are waiting 30, 45 minutes, they're going back to Taco Bell, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are you doing? Come to my house. I make a bomb-ass quesadilla. Ask Brittany. Ask Isla. I make a killer quesadilla. I make it in 5 minutes. You want a chicken quesadilla? I make it in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Real simple. You want just a basic level quesadilla? Come to the Ruther house. All right, what else we got? This is the same guy. You'd think they were making complicated 4-star rated Michelin fare from scratch instead of prefab fast food. Okay, this girl Della listed She lists her order number and everything. Cantina chicken crispy taco, flat as a pancake and hard. Cheesy fiesta potatoes, cooked earlier, hard, crusty. Cinnamon twists, made from leftover dust. Granted, order was small but very unappetizing, tasteless, and not at all worthwhile. I'm accustomed to better from Taco Bell. Are you? Are you? These people. You're accustomed to good food from Taco Bell? Guys, I just filmed a video of myself eating Roscoe's dog food. I tried 3 separate dog foods that he eats. I said the one that is labeled loaf realistically doesn't taste that much different than Taco Bell. I don't know what these expectations people are. Like what are these expectations you're having? I literally said if you switched Taco Bell meat with Roscoe's food that is labeled loaf, I don't think a lot of people would be able to tell the difference. I realistically don't. I think it's that close. These reviews are unbelievable. It's weird because this Taco Bell is a total shithole. It's a total dump. I get it. But there's like elements of Karen that are working themselves into these reviews, or people who just have no self-awareness and don't realize what are they doing there. This is a good one from Diane. I ordered 4 taco supremes trying to support the new location. Instead, after eating 1.5 tacos, I had a lot of gas in my stomach, then pain, and then diarrhea. Well, again, Diane, Taco Bell gonna do that to you, girl. Taco Bell gonna give you the mud butts. It's gonna give you the runs. Either the food was tainted or the hands were dirty. I will never go back again. At least she learned her lesson. I do like how Diane gave them a 5 out of 5 for service, a 5 out of 5 for atmosphere, and the food is what earned them a 1 out of 5. Here's another person, Frank, who just went 3 times. Like, what are you doing? Dude, if you have to list each time that was a bad experience, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing here, Frank? I've given this place 3 tries. First time I got breakfast and it was cold. Second and third time I mobile ordered. When I went through the drive-through, they would always forget straws for drinks and random items in my order. The worst part is that they will make every single person through the drive-through pull around the parking lot to wait 15 minutes to get food that's halfway assembled. Oh, yeah. I love that, by the way. I love when you go to the drive-through and then they ask you to pull around. That's a classic move of just a terrible fast food restaurant. And then I got to do one positive review, which has to be the owner, right? Like, this has to be the owner right here. From Mike Garfunkel. Oh, yeah. That's some white dude. Like, most of these reviews are from black people. This random white dude, Mike Garfunkel, been to the location several times since May. What does it say? Been to the location several times since May, and it has been great each time. I've always gone in the afternoon. That's got to be the owner, right? Or like somebody related to the owner. There's no way that that's not the owner, right? It's got to be. So this place is apparently a dump. And I'll be curious when we go today. We're literally going to go after I'm done recording this. I'll be curious if they've improved since that article came out in the Cincinnati Enquirer 4 days ago. I mean, that's an accomplishment. To be rated the second worst Taco Bell in the entire United States. You know how many bad Taco Bells I've been to? Maybe that should be a thing I do. I was thinking about that. I just go to like the worst rated places just to see how bad it is. Has anybody done that? Somebody had to have done that, right? Everybody talks about going to restaurants that are rated great, restaurants where the food is amazing, the service is superb. What if I started going to just awful, terrible restaurants where the food tastes like ass and the service is just absolutely deplorable? What if I started doing that? Well, I am. What am I talking about? I'm going today. I'm going today, and I really look forward to it, to be fully honest. I think it'll be fun. I'm not gonna eat the food, though. There's too many reviews about hair and food and saying it tastes like dust and all those things, and I'm a Taco Bell guy. I'll occasionally go to Taco Bell, as you guys know. I can't do that. Just can't. I can't be eating that. I wonder if Mr. Taco Bell got involved. I wonder if they got corporate online here. They got that little Chihuahua. Okay, I don't know Taco Bell. I wonder if he got involved in this mess. This is a mess. Well, I'll keep you guys in the loop with some updates. We'll have a video out on this in about a week or something, maybe a few days. Again, the hotline, 859-935-0078. Want to give a quick update on my future daughter's name. I vetoed whatever Brittany was trying to bark up last week. On last episode when she came on saying she was 100% sure on the baby's name. Nope. I'm 100% sure we're not using that name. She's freaking out about the name. She has this list, and it's in the notes section on the iPhone, and she shared it with me. She's always updating it. I haven't put in a single name. She's all worked up. You're not even contributing. You don't even care. All you do is say my names are bad. The kid's born in 5 months, right? The kid is born in 5 months. I got time. I'm the type of person, I'm going to sit down and think about a name, think about multiple names. I let it marinate, right? I let it cook. I'm not just going to willy-nilly throw names out there. That's just not how I work. I let it cook. And that's what I'm going to do. And her and I already agreed not to talk about names with other people. And she's already gone against that. Already. She's texting with me and one of my sister-in-laws. She's complaining about how I am with names to her mom. I said, no one else is involved in this, Brittany. It's just me and you. I don't care. I honestly don't care at all about anyone's opinion on names. I don't. This is my child. This is your child. Everyone else's opinions mean nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. There's names of kids that I think are great. There's names of kids that I think are terrible. But at the end of the day, it's my kid. It's your kid. It doesn't really matter what anybody else says. And my little brother really did give great advice the first time around, and we didn't listen to it. And his advice was, don't talk about the names. You guys decide the names, and you come up with the names. I feel like women have stress. There's no stress with me over her name. There's no stress. I feel like it's stressful for women for some reason. I don't know why. We'll come up with the name, and I believe things work themselves out, and it'll fit. But I'm not stressing about it. And I don't have to come. You're due. I told her, you're due February 7th. It's end of August. We got some time. We got some time to come up with the name. You know? It worked out for Isla. Worked out great. I think it's a beautiful name. I love the name. We agreed. We're going to agree on something. But dear God, let's not stress about a name 5 months in advance. She should care more about this Taco Bell. That's what she should care about. That we live in a city that has the second worst Taco Bell in the entire country. That's where the priority should lie. They need, you know what they need to get? They need to get Mexican Mickey Mouse at that Taco Bell. Maybe that'll improve morale. Maybe that'll improve the reviews. Hey, I showed up to Taco Bell to order a chalupa. The food tasted disgusting. But there was a Mexican Mickey Mouse that was twerking on my car. It made it worth it. 5 out of 5 stars. All right, guys, I got to get my butt moving. So I'm going to end on that. Much love to everybody who's been listening, who's been sending me DMs. Can't thank you guys enough. Drop a review if you like the show. Drop a review if you don't like the show. Spotify, Apple, you guys know where to do that. All right, guys, that is the show. You guys have a great week, and we'll be back on next Wednesday. Peace.